So every week at Business at Breakfast, one of the members gets pulled out of the crowd with literally no warning whatsoever to tell us more about what it is that they do. They are not allowed to speak freely because who knows where that's going. I will give you a couple of parameters, and then, assuming you follow the instructions, you'll speak for 2 minutes and get about 10, 15 minutes worth of questions. Today we have the wonderful Fred Gillen. Fred's been around for, I don't know, we've been together for I think 5 years or something, probably since COVID started. We've been networking together. I don't even know how you discovered Business at Breakfast. How'd you end up here?
I just looked for one more marketing idea and I found you.
That's the thing, right? That was before you were called More Marketing Ideas. I would say so. Yeah, I don't know how that happened, but it was definitely in 2021. So yeah, it was the year. It was in 2021. That's right, because I was doing the coaching for 2021. You've gone, that is a cool concept. How many can you help in 2021 for 2021?
Yeah.
And you were one of the first ones to say, what will happen with coaching next year? Will it go up? Yes, it will. What to 2022? And then we went from there. So yeah, you've been around for that long. So Fred, I know that you do networking all over the place and you've got all these more marketing ideas. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to be our speaker today because, hey, it's your turn. It's been a while, so it's your turn. And I want you to give us the elevator pitch again, right? And then tell us a quick history as to how you ended up doing more marketing ideas. So just so that when everyone's watching, and normally I will say this to Fred, I want you to do your elevator pitch and tell us what you sell, right? And I think we got that because you repeated a few times. And then tell us the history of you to that thing that you sell. Ultimately, that's the structure that I'm giving Fred. Is his elevator pitch has to say what he sells, and then the history of him to that thing, why he believes in it, why he sells it, how it came about. It's not the whole history of Fred. It's the history of Fred to the thing. All right, Fred, go. It'll take about 2 minutes and then we'll ask questions.
All right. Thanks, Missy. Yeah, it did start, our relationship started in 2021, and it was your idea because you mentioned that you didn't want your fees to be too excessive. And I think you were charging, whatever it was at the time. And then I decided to do something. And so I started a community called the 2021 community, and we charged $21 per month to join it. And it kicked off and we ended up with 300 members. So that was the start of that. And that was all based on your input. It all came up from your idea. More Market Ideas was a business name I came up with because through my corporate life, I always had the better idea. And some people didn't like it, some people did. But I always had a better idea for people because looking at businesses from a holistic point of view, from the elevator pitch, looking down at them rather, you could see what was wrong with their business and you could come up with a good idea for them. And when I started my digital agency, which is what I do now, so we do everything from web development to CRM systems to automations to voice AI. I'm heavily into AI at the moment. So we do all of that. And every bit of that needs marketing ideas. So it's no good having a website if you can't market it. It's no good having a bricks and mortar store if you can't market it. It's no good if you've got a plumber out there if he's not marketing. So they all need marketing ideas. And I came up with the term More Marketing Ideas. And when I ran that first pitch that I did earlier on this networking group, probably a couple of years ago now, I got a big laugh and I just continued to do it because that's what it does. But like what you said, it's turned out now to be really a godsend because somebody hears the word More Marketing Ideas and they remember me.
Yeah.
Right? So it's, it turned out to be a bit of a gimmick when I did it. But now I do it everywhere. So I go into, and people, they go, what is this guy about? And suddenly they remember the name, but they remember
More
me,
marketing ideas. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where it all started. And like I said, now one of the ideas, and I've mentioned this before to everyone in the group, if you don't have a Google My Business page, you are not in business, right? So if people haven't got a Google My Business page, even if you don't use it, well, you should use it for starters, but if you don't use it, go and register it. It costs you nothing, right? And if you post something once a week, you're going to get some business out of it, guaranteed, right? So that's just one more marketing idea for everyone, but it's a very important one because Google loves Google. So if you've got somebody working on your SEO and you don't have a Google My Business page, you ain't going to get any exposure on Google, because they need you to be promoting them as well. So that's what I'd encourage everybody to do. Just a bit of a business tip. And one more marketing idea for everyone. But go and have a look at your Google My Business page and make sure and post at least once a week. Doesn't matter what you post, whether it's an event, whether it's something coming up, a picture, a meme, anything. Just get some continuity happening. And then I'd probably encourage everybody to do something at least once a day, but at least once a week. Start out and then do it twice a week, and then get into the ream of posting something there all the time.
So
And
here's my
particularly,
marketing idea that goes with that, Fred, is well, I say to people, do you have a Google business page? And when they say no, I say, so it's good for reviews.
absolutely, 100%.
Whether you ask people for reviews or not, at least it's there so that the opportunity is there. But then on the other side, because I've got one, I review other people's things. Like I'll order something. I mean, I deliver pizzas, so I love pizza. Everybody should have hot pizza. So of course, wherever I go, I want pizza, and then I'll take a picture of the pizza, and then I'll just do a review for them. And so ultimately, because I review other people, Google then writes back to me and says, "This is how many people looked at your stuff because you reviewed it." And so now I've got 30,000 views of your pictures because you reviewed these other things, but they fall back into my, this number falls back across my Google business page simply because I was reviewing someone else's. Spotlight, fabric stores. Take a picture of a piece of fabric and say, I was just in a fabric store, and all of a sudden you get 10,000 views. And I keep going, okay, so here's the marketing idea. I've gone, now my plan is the next time I get one of these is I'm going to print it off in color, and then I'm going to laminate it, and I'm going to send it to that store with a note that says, apparently my review of your store just got got 10,000 views. I hope that this is helping you get more work, and just send it off. Because I'm curious to know, what's the marketing idea that's sitting behind that, telling someone that they're doing a great job and having it like a certificate and sent off to them as well. I want to know what sits behind that. So yeah,
it's pretty important because, whether people believe it or not, Google is a social media platform, right? And all social media platforms have algorithms. And and it's the same with all of them, the more you engage, the more they'll engage for you. So the more you engage, the more they'll start spreading your word. And it's exactly what you said. If you review people on Google, then people will start to review you.
Yeah.
You don't have a page, they can't review you, So, and I'd encourage everybody to go out to your past clients and just ask them to do a review on your Google My Business page.
Yep. Yep. I remember when I first started getting noticed on Google, and that was before I had a Google business page. It was because I was showing up on other people's platforms and my name would show up. And then, of course, Google would see this, and then Google started putting together a page. So mine was easy, to sort of just fix that off. But that's why I say in my bio, and just like Ryan Reynolds, she's easily found on Google. So when people say, "Oh, Missy, do you have a website?" I do. It's Google. No. We're on Google. What is your website called? On Google. No. It's just Google. So just Google Misty Henkel sales trainer, Misty Henkel networking, and Google knows who I am. There you go. Google is my website. And so it's kind of fun, to utilize Google to your advantage. I agree with the Google business thing. Not everybody's finding it easy. Sometimes you get a Google business page and for whatever reason there's a fault in there somewhere. So basically people could come to you and ask for help if they're having trouble with their Google business page.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. What's the going rate, Fred, of coming to get help from you? Like if I'm having trouble with my Google business page, I need you to sit and look at it, do a bit of an audit and tell me what's going on.
I charge a flat fee of $65 per 30 minutes.
Okay, great. There you go. $65, 30 minutes. We can get in there and have a look at it. Excellent. What are some other marketing ideas? So I know you said digital agency. So I heard the word website. You're saying Google business page. What are some other marketing ideas that fall inside of a digital agency? List them off.
Okay, everybody uses Facebook and LinkedIn and whatever, but there's a lot of real estate on those platforms that people don't use. And one of them is your header image, particularly on Facebook, right? People just put up something bland or a picture of the ocean or something else. You need to put up something that's advertising what you do. So just change the image and put up, like Misty sales trainer or whatever it might be, but get rid of the bland background images that just show something that's got nothing to do with your business.
Is it you? Actually, it's you. It was you who said years ago that when you put the header there, that you put a note inside that header. So if anyone ever touches that header, there's something in there that might take them, like a website URL or something that takes them off.
Yeah, any image on Facebook, when you click on it, right, it actually opens up a comment box.
Yeah.
So you can put anything you like in that comment box. And that's any image on Facebook, and people don't use it, right? But particularly on your header image, normally I'll put something that looks like a button on it, even though it's not a button. So it'll be something that looks like a button that says click here or learn more or whatever it might be. And that encourages somebody to click on the image. They think they're clicking on a button, but they're actually clicking on the image. When that happens, it opens up a box that says, yeah, you want this stuff, go here, right? So it a bit more, verbiage than that, but basically that's what it is. Thanks for clicking on the image. If you really want that ebook, then go here. If you want to learn more about my services, then go here, right? So that's a nice bit of real estate, and it's free, right? It doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Does that happen on LinkedIn as well? Does that happen the same
I'm
way?
not sure about LinkedIn. I'm not a big LinkedIn user, so I can't really comment on LinkedIn.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, I know it does it on Facebook. I remember you saying that years ago. All right, so we got the social media sites, Google business page, websites. Let's say we're having trouble with our content for a website or content to put on social media. Do you have content creators? Do you help in that area?
Yeah, I'm a big user of ChatGPT, right? And one of the things and people don't know about it is in ChatGPT, you can actually create your own GPTs or custom GPTs. And what they are basically is that you train GPT to do a certain task for you, and you just train it on that. And then, for example, I've got one that I use occasionally for responding to other people's comments, right? And what happens is that I've trained ChatGPT to read the comment. I just copy the comment from somebody else's post. I drop it into this GPT responder, and it will actually create a response in my language, in the words I would normally use, to that person, right? So, and one of the things and people, no matter how many times I say it, I still get it even in my community. If you do not make a comment on somebody's post, there is no benefit for anyone. Hitting a like, hitting a heart does shit. It does nothing, right? So you need to make a 1 or 2 paragraph comment to benefit them, which in turn, like Google, which in turn will benefit you, because then more Facebook will then post yours. So, doing the like, yeah, it's nice and easy. And yes, you're interacting, but it used to be that hearts worked, that they did something. But a couple of years ago, that all changed. So unless you're actually making comments and putting words in there, don't bother. It's a waste of time. Don't waste of your time, waste of everybody's time. It does nothing.
Yeah, okay. Excellent. Who else has some questions for Fred? Yep, Helen Mickleth.
So Fred, how did you, you've got a lot of ideas. Is this something that you used to do like in a previous role as well, like in terms of your history?
Yeah. Well, I like my background is IT, right? We used to roll out infrastructure systems for corporate. So I worked with the majors, worked with all the major banks in Australia, worked for NAB, worked for the health departments. And when you're a project manager in that arena, you've got to look at everything people are doing and optimize it. So there was always something that would come up in a conversation, and like lots of times I would get, oh shit, not another one of his, but always made comments all through my life. It's like, somebody in business, even though I wasn't at the time doing anything in that arena, somebody would, have a shop or something, and they'd say, oh, I can't get more customers. I said, well, have you tried this? Even though I wasn't in that arena at the time. Because, and if you look at it, you can do the same. I mean, somebody asks you a question and say, look, I'm doing this. What do you think? You've got a response to that, right? May be wrong, may not be valid, but you have got a response to it. So everybody can look at what somebody else is doing and give him advice on it, and that's really where it all stemmed from. And then, I had to come up with a name when I started the digital agency 8 years ago. And I figured, why not? More marketing ideas.
Yeah. It is easier to give answers to other people's problems than it is to find the answer to your own. Like it's really easy to do elevator pitches for other people. They go, how do you do that? You just met me. And it's like 10 seconds. Yes, I have a structure and I just have to fill in tiny little bits of blanks. But when you do it to yourself, and technically it's exactly the same, but your brain is there going, but am I saying the right thing? And is that going to get a reaction? Am I going to do this? Like you're putting, other things in it. But when you say it as a customer trying to hear with someone else, way easier than as the salesman perspective.
And the other side of that is like, you can always ask the question back to them, what do you think you should do? Right?
Yeah, that's life coaching, right?
Yeah. It's like, you don't even go there. You just say, well, then why aren't you doing it? And they
What
go,
else?
shit, maybe
What
I should
else?
be.
What else? And if you were sitting in my seat, what do you think that I should ask you next? And what else? And what
well,
else?
it's like the why, like you just keep saying why to people. Why? Why? Every time they say something, why?
Yep.
And suddenly they get irritated, but then they come up with the answer they want.
They have the answer, right? Yeah.
Everybody's got their own answer. They just
Yeah.
don't implement it.
Yep. You just have to just sit in silence and wait. Lana, you have your hand up?
Yes, I have a bit of a question. I might have to book a meeting with you, Fred, but have you had reviews disappear completely from Google My Business page? I've got a particular client that left a review and it just keeps disappearing. And I've asked him to do it again and then it's disappeared. And it's a bloody good review and I want it on my Google My Business page, but it just keeps disappearing. Has that ever happened?
I haven't really heard of that because usually one of the issues you've got is if somebody leaves a negative review, it's hard to get rid of them,
Yeah, that to be honest, this is the one I want to keep.
Unless they've got something wrong with their Google account, right? Unless they've done something that Google didn't like and they've just basically banned
It wouldn't be that. It was a 5-star glowing review from a client.
No.
I mean, the person
have never shown up on mine. Diane can't make her show up on mine. Like she said to me before, why didn't you comment? I didn't even know that you've written one. And according to mine, it's
I've tried to rewrite it, but it won't let me do it because I've already written a one.
So here's my way
He's put it up twice. Like he's put it up twice, and every time it just disappears.
So I have a marketing idea around that. Like I don't know how to fix it, but I have a marketing idea around that since I've got I'm in Fred mode. Is you get that because it's how I do it. You get that review and you write it as a post. Find the person, like either put a picture of you or put a picture of testimonial from. It could be a picture of you then or a picture from that person who gave it to you. And you write it in the post section to say, this is what this one's saying about exceptional tradies, and then make it a post. Just
I'll send you my review then, Misty. I'll find it out of all the reviews because it was one of the first ones, and I'll send it to you so you can make a post out of it.
I'd like it to actually show in the review section.
I know you would, but given that, if it's not going to, there's still a way around it.
It's just, it doesn't happen with anyone else but this guy. I'm like, what's going on? Like, why?
Actually, Lana, you don't know. It may have happened with a dozen other people, but you can't see it. So you don't know.
I got the notification and it came up, and then
I never got the notification.
Later it just disappears.
I didn't get the notification. I had Diane tell me, and I had about half a dozen other people tell me on the same time.
Yeah, I got the notification and a day later it's gone, and then he does it again and I get the notification a day later it's gone. I'm like, what is going on? Anyway.
It could be that there's a 24-hour. Sometimes those things can stay only 24 hours. Isn't that part of it?
Not as far as I'm aware with Google, but the problem you've got is that there's no recourse. I mean, you can't get in touch with them, you can't ring them. Even if you've got a bad review that's put up by somebody that's just vindictive, that it's not really a valid, you got to jump through hoops to get that removed.
I can leave it.
Yeah, it's how it works. All right, Diane, you've got your hand up?
Yes, I have. So, Fred, with my Google page, because I sort of try and keep that up to date, but I have to say the last couple of months I've been a bit slack. But with the post, like, does it matter on how big it is? Like, can you do like an article, or do you just do, it doesn't matter?
I'd probably use the initial one to actually drive them to wherever the article is.
Okay.
Because you're getting a double hit then.
Yeah.
Right. So if you've got, and like say you've got a blog post up on your website, You know,
Yeah.
then I'd take a snippet of blog post, put that up, and saying, read more. Basically, go here. You know.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
good.
they're reading the article, they're interested, then they go to your website, and then you can take them wherever you want.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Fred, for being our speaker today.
Mm.
And thank you, audience, for participating in the conversation. That was great. So we're in that last little bit of Business at Breakfast. This is a bit where we get to say to ask the visitor, what did you enjoy most about the meeting, Glenn?
Thank you, Misty. I love the atmosphere here. It's fun. It's engaging. It's I like that it's international for me. That's awesome. So that's really cool. And getting to hear an in-depth Q&A like Fred you and Fred just went through. That's a great idea and a great way of formatting the networking event.
Yeah, I don't let anyone speak now without having an instruction. I found from writing notes in the past, like I've written notes on more than, I don't know, 2,000 presentations before I started doing this, and going, why is it that we like the person more, but we can't find them work? And we don't understand what they're doing, because the person came in with their own thoughts as to what they thought we needed to know. And then we end up leaving going, yeah, I really like you. And I would call and say, how did so-and-so's presentation go today? Oh my God, I love that person. I love them too. Can you tell me what they sell? Nah. Can you tell me who they help? Nah. Can you tell me anything about what they do work-wise? No, I just know that I like them and more people need to go see them. Yeah, okay, so that's a highly useless talk. And so really, and notice I make it all focused around the elevator pitch. The elevator pitch is the secret to all, like that's the secret to sales. It's like the foundation to all sales presentations is if people know what you're talking about or what you're going to sell, now the whole pitch comes from that. And I really got the idea from when I became a volunteer with TEDx and then became a speakers coach with TEDx. It's all about the idea worth sharing. Tell us what you're going to talk about, and then make the rest of the talk that. So that's why I was very adamant in saying, tell us the thing that you'll sell, more marketing ideas, and the history of you to the more marketing ideas, not the history of Fred. Because the history of Fred just makes us like him more, and who knows where that would have gone. Right? We would have found out about where he lives and all this great stuff, and if he's got a dog, and yeah, highly unhelpful for us and for him work-wise. And since it's a work thing, it's a work thing, right? So yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you so much. Do you go to other networking? Do you go to other networking meetings? Or you must, because you ran into Barbara Cassidy.
I've picked up a few on Alignable here recently, and a couple of them in personally, locally here, but really just starting to branch out into the virtual networking, which it's been a fantastic tool for me for the last few weeks. Honestly, I'm just really starting it, so it's awesome.
Nice.